welcome back. In this second video, I will take a look at low reactives, that is, listeners that doesn't show anything. They are very quiet, you sort of don't know where they are in their listening. If they are at the very bottom, in the very corner of the coordinate, they probably work on being low reactive. They work on not showing anything. The goal is to move them into the sack. That is, make them very positive with substance, and being in the sack will further support a possible close. So let's go back to the 5 questions I mentioned in the last film. The first question is, who can they be and why? The second is, what happens with me or with you when you meet them? What are the traps? Because there are traps, of course. What is good about these listeners? What shall I do? That's the 5th question. When I meet them. We can see what kind of answer we can find. The first question, who can they be and why are they low reactive? It could be pure shyness, of course. The person is uncertain about the situation, or doesn't know about anybody else in the audience. It's all new to them. Or they could be ordered to be there and actually doesn't want to be there. They don't understand and doesn't want to show they don't understand. They don't like you. Or they don't like what you represent. They have heard it all before. Or what you say is not really important. Difficult questions. Maybe he or she does not understand the question. The question have several different answers. Could also be a reason why they're low reactive. Or they don't know how to answer. Is unsure about the reason why the question is asked. There are also situations that makes it low reactive. Initially, in the start, most audiences are low reactive. People wonder who you are or what's going to happen. Large group are most often low reactive. At important decisions, you can expect the audience to be low reactive. The time of day can be of importance. Roughly, we can divide the day into 3 different low reactive periods. The first is just before lunch break. The second is directly after the lunch. All the blood and energy is directed to the stomach. Then there is the third period in the late afternoon, when there is no energy left in the body. Question number 2. What happens with you or with me? When I have asked the question to people I've trained, the answer could be, I got nervous when I met with the low reactives. I stick to them, especially if they look negative. I start to question my own presentation. Well, I try to say something funny. I force myself. Or I forget easily what I was going to say. Someone said, I sometimes depart from a manuscript. Or I get less open. I think it is important to understand what happens with you in situations like this. I don't think you necessarily have to understand why, just what to start with. The next question is about traps. What are the traps? Well, the risk is you speed up, or you get glued to the manuscript, and by that lose your ability to be flexible and relaxed. You lose contact with the audience. You start to read text rather than telling the story. You jump around in the structure. You don't follow the manuscript. Or you ask questions too early, especially closed questions. You lose energy because you don't get any response. These are some examples coming from people I've had in training. Number 4. The fourth question to answer in the striving to meet and treat low reactives is, what are the benefits with low reactive people in the audience? Well, there are benefits. In the selling process, there are no, as far as I'm concerned. But sometimes it helps me in that I can, without interruptions, go through all I'm going to say. And if I'm short of time, it's perfect. It helps me keep the time. Sometimes it has been important for me to create a low reactive situation because I did not want any questions or any kind of dialogue. But in a business environment, the dialogue is important, verbal or non-verbal. The last question, number 5. And of course, the most important in keeping a process is, what shall I do to make them move out of their corner into the sack area? There are some ways you can try. Try to build a relationship with them. Here, showing them they are important and that you see them is important. Stick firmly to the manuscript and the structure. Have a very well prepared start. The same thing about the end. Make it carefully prepared. Shall it be a summary, a conclusion, or are you striving for a close or a combination? Spice your presentation with rhetorical questions to create a dynamic presentation. Use images, pictures, PowerPoint, films, any visual tool. Use a clear and crisp metaphorical language. Use analogies that are well known. If you use products to show or other objects, let them take it, feel it, touch them, smell it, whatever. Creates a kind of presence and attention you may need. Wait with asking questions until you build a relationship with them. The fundamental rule is first relationship, then ask questions. This was a couple of things about low reactives that may be useful for you. My conclusion is that they are actually not to worry about as long as I know how to meet them, and that I also have some technique to support me. In the next video, I will talk about people who wants to discuss, who has a lot of questions, and who even wants to argue with me and find out why I'm wrong. There are people, of course, who wants to understand, and that is the reason they want to discuss with me, of course. But more about that in the next video. So for now, bye.